The night I caught my wife sitting in my best friend's car. My life should have ended.
The night I found my wife in my best friend's car, I didn't shout, I didn't cry, and I didn't fight. I just smiled because at that moment, I already knew how their story would end. But to understand why I smiled, you need to know who we were before everything broke. My name is Daniel. I grew up in a small room behind a mechanic shop in a busy part of Lagos. Every morning, the air smelled like engine oil and hot dust. Cars passed, horns shouted, and life moved fast whether you were ready or not. My father fixed engines with black hands and tired eyes. My mother sold food by the roadside. We didn't have much, but my father used to say something that stayed in my heart. Daniel, the world respects the man who stays quiet and plans. I didn't understand those words when I was young, but one day, I would. My best friend Michael came into my life when we were both 12. He was loud, funny, and fearless. When I was calm, he was on fire. When I was quiet, he talked too much. But we balanced each other. People in school called us twins. We shared food, we shared secrets, we even shared dreams. Our dream was simple. One day we would become successful men in Lagos. After school, life pushed us in different directions. I went to study accounting and worked small jobs to survive. I slept 4 hours a night, ate cheap noodles, and saved every naira. Michael didn't like school much, but he had charm. That kind of charm that makes people laugh even when they don't trust you. Years later, life brought us back together. Michael got a job at a big company called SilverGate Holdings. To him, it was heaven. Every time we met, he talked about it like it was a temple. This company is the future, he would say with shining eyes. I was happy for him, truly. Around that same time, I met the woman who would become my wife. Her name was Sarah. Sarah had a soft voice and a smile that could calm a storm. She worked at a clothing store in a busy mall. The first time I saw her, she was laughing with a customer, and something inside me felt warm. Our love moved slowly. Walks in the evening, small roadside dinners, long talks about dreams. When I finally asked her to marry me, she cried and hugged me so tight I thought my ribs would break. The wedding was small, nothing fancy, just family, music, and hope. Michael stood beside me as my best man. He lifted a glass and shouted, "Daniel is the most loyal man I know." Everyone laughed. I laughed too. Life after marriage was simple but peaceful. I got a job as a junior accountant in a finance office. The pay was not huge, but it was stable. Sarah stayed home at first, then started a small online clothing business. Michael visited often. Too often maybe. He would bring drinks, sit in our living room, and tell long stories about his work at SilverGate Holdings. Sarah liked his jokes. I thought nothing of it, because that was my brother. Or at least, I thought he was. The first strange moment came on a rainy Thursday evening. I came home early from work. The streets were wet and quiet. As I walked toward my building, I saw a familiar car parked near the corner. Michael's car. But Michael wasn't supposed to be there. My heart beat faster as I walked closer. Inside the car, I saw two shadows. Then the streetlight flickered, and the shadows became faces. Michael and Sarah. They were sitting close, too close. Her hand rested on his arm. Their faces were inches apart. I stood there in the rain, watching my whole life crack like glass. For a long moment, I could not breathe. My chest felt empty. Then something strange happened. I didn't scream. I didn't knock on the window. Instead, I turned around and walked away. That night, I slept on the couch. Sarah came home later and acted normal. "Traffic was terrible," she said. I nodded. From that moment, everything inside me changed. I stopped asking questions. I stopped showing emotions. But I started watching. Days turned into weeks, and the truth slowly came out like poison. Late night messages, secret calls, sudden meetings. They thought I was blind, but I saw everything, every lie, every smile, every betrayal. And instead of exploding, I began to build something they could never imagine. Remember when my father said, "The world respects the man who stays quiet and plans"? This was the moment I finally understood. 3 years earlier, during a small investment seminar, I met an old man named Mr. Ade. He was a quiet investor who believed in one rule: money grows best when nobody notices it. He taught me how to invest in small businesses, stocks, and private deals. At first, my investments were tiny, but slowly they grew. While Michael and Sarah were playing their secret games, I was building a hidden empire. Every extra naira went into investments. Every weekend I studied markets. Every night I planned. Months passed. Then one evening, Sarah finally said the words I knew were coming. "I think we should separate," she said softly. She looked sad, but her eyes were already somewhere else. I nodded calmly. "If that's what you want." She looked surprised. Maybe she expected anger, maybe she expected tears, but she got nothing. 2 weeks later, I heard the news from a mutual friend. Sarah had moved in with Michael, my best friend, my brother, the two people I trusted most. People expected me to fall apart, but instead, my life quietly exploded in a different direction. One of my investments multiplied almost overnight. Another company I invested in got bought by an international firm. My bank account began to grow faster than I imagined. For the first time in my life, I had real power. But revenge was not my first thought, at least not yet. Then something interesting happened. One evening, I read a business article about SilverGate Holdings, the company Michael loved so much. The article said the company was struggling, bad management, falling profits, shareholders leaving, and suddenly an idea formed in my mind, a quiet, dangerous idea. Over the next year, I began buying shares, slowly, carefully, through different investment groups. No one noticed. Piece by piece, I collected power. Michael had no idea. Sarah had no idea. To them, I was just the quiet man they left behind. But behind the curtain, everything was changing. Then one morning, 2 years after the betrayal, the board of SilverGate Holdings held an emergency meeting. The company had a new majority owner. That owner was me. When the announcement became public, the business world was shocked. But one man was more shocked than anyone: Michael. 2 days later, I walked into the headquarters of SilverGate Holdings for the first time as the new chairman. The building was tall, shiny, and cold. Employees lined the hallway whispering. Inside the main conference room, managers sat nervously. And at the far end of the table was Michael. When he saw me walk in, his face turned pale. He blinked like he was seeing a ghost. I sat down at the head of the table slowly. The room was silent. Michael finally spoke. "Daniel, what are you doing here?" I leaned back in the chair. "This company belongs to me now." His mouth opened, but no sound came out. For the first time in our lives, Michael had no words. Later that evening, he came to my office. His hands were shaking. "Please tell me this is some kind of joke," he said. I looked at him calmly. "Do I look like I'm joking?" He sat down slowly. "I didn't know. Sarah and I raised my hand. "You don't need to explain." The room felt heavy. Then I said the words he would never forget. Tomorrow morning, you will report directly to me. He looked like a man drowning. But the real twist came 1 week later. Sarah showed up at the office. She walked into my lobby wearing a bright dress and nervous eyes. When she saw me, tears filled her face. "I made a mistake," she whispered. I looked at her for a long moment. Then I smiled softly, not with anger, not with hate, just with quiet understanding. "Sarah," I said gently, "the mistake wasn't loving someone else." She looked confused. "The mistake was thinking I would stay the same man you betrayed." I stood up, walked past her, and toward the elevator. Behind me, I heard her crying. But I didn't stop, because revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's simply becoming the man they never thought you could be. And the most powerful moment of my life wasn't when I caught them together. It wasn't when I bought the company. It was the day my best friend walked into my office, looked me in the eyes, and said the two words he never thought he would say: "Yes, boss."